Today, class is going to be more for advanced students, so just letting you know. And we're going to work on our writing. So for the first 30 minutes, I have a prompt for us to work on, and then I have some prompts that I found on Pinterest, and maybe we can work on some individual writing, and we'll just see how class goes. Hello. All right.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. So just letting you guys know, this is a writing class. All right. And speaking, because we are going to be sharing what we're writing, because it's a little hard to do via chat, but we can try that. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with a prompt as a class, and we're going to visit this website on, well, it's Tumblr, and we're going to take a look at this picture. All right. And so we're going to try and write a paragraph as a class about this astronaut, all right, sitting on a bench. And as you can tell, it says, tell this story in the right-hand corner. So, all right, we can brainstorm, which means we can come up with a few ideas that can maybe form the frame for our story. So does anyone have any ideas, maybe, about this picture? Or is anyone having trouble getting to the website?
No, I'm on the website.
Okay.
But
All right, so for verbling out there, this is what we're going to be looking at for the first part of class. And we're going to be writing a paragraph about this astronaut. So what are some words that we can come up with at first to describe this person?
Alien.
Okay, so alien. Do you think he's an alien?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's lost too.
Yeah, perfect. So he seems lost. I'm going to create a list and I'll post it in chat. So I am writing the words down for us. What else? What else do you see, observe about this picture that can help us form some sentences later on? So one student said lost. Are there a lot of other people in the picture?
No, just a dove.
Okay, so what would we say if a person is all by themselves? Begins with an L? They're lonely? Maybe? Yeah, exactly. All right. And what do we call people in this kind of uniform?
Astronomy?
Yeah, okay. So we have an astronaut, and that's our character. Astronaut. And who else is in the picture, or what else is in the picture? What is on the ground in the front? Right here?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have a pigeon. Maybe the pigeon can be a character as well. Okay. So just thinking of some other ideas. And what is this person, this astronaut, doing? Oops, sorry. I heard a lot of background noise, so I muted you.
He looks desperate.
Okay. Desperate? Okay. What is the action? What is he doing?
Sitting.
Okay, so we have sitting. What would someone be doing sitting on a bench? Is he
Thinking,
looking
maybe
at something?
thinking something.
Okay.
He is waiting for somebody.
Thinking, waiting for someone. Awesome. All right. So these are just
It's like station.
patient. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then let's try and get some details about the setting. So where do we want to say he is? Where do you think this could be?
On the platform.
Yeah. So either a bus or a train station platform. Okay. And
Seems in the moon because he wearing like the way his clothes like the men who goes to the moon.
okay, so he's waiting maybe to go to outer space. Outer
Maybe.
space. And you said the moon, so I'll put that in there. And what colors do we see? So we can describe this area and maybe our character.
He's, I think he's a rescue person and he's laughing someone and he's sitting simply distressed.
Okay, so I heard part of that. You think he escaped from somewhere? Could you repeat what you said, Karuna?
Yeah, actually he's a rescue person. He's from some rescue team and he's losing someone who he loved or who is related to his heart and sitting with distressfully.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I can't understand what you're saying because there's a lot of background noise on your connection.
Yeah,
Is there
actually.
any way you can write it in chat? Because I heard
Yeah.
pieces. Okay. So I'll add my list and we'll see what Karuna has to say. Okay. Okay. Oof. All right. Sorry, guys. I just muted you if you had a lot of background noise because I can't hear myself think sometimes. All right. So while we wait for that, does anyone have anything else we could add to our list to help with our story? So to help create our paragraph about this. No? All right.
Maybe
Okay.
I think he is like the crazy man. He is sitting and wearing something weird. Maybe he is a crazy man, just sitting and waiting someone to give him some food, something like this.
Okay. All right. So I guess as a class, now we have to
There are
decide. Yeah, go ahead, Ziad.
no oxygen tubes for breathing.
Okay, so he's not
Since he's
prepared.
going to the outer space, there should be. Yeah.
Not prepared for outer space. So maybe it is just a costume. All right. So I think that's a pretty good list. We have some descriptions about the setting. So I'm just going to give us some vocabulary here for literature. So setting, where the story takes place. We have some descriptive words to paint a picture, so to create an image. So we have color, we have details about the clothes our character is wearing. Okay, and then we also have a list already of character development, which is great. So you've already developed, you've already created a personality for this character. Of course, he has a few personalities right now because we have 9 students who said different things. So we'll have to agree, create a personality for the character. Yeah, so I think a hopeless man. So it seems that everyone agrees that he looks a little lonely. Maybe he's waiting for something, or we could take it the other way and he's crazy. So does anyone want to share their opinion and decide for the class what we should make our character? Is he going to be insane or is he going to be lonely? So that's the first thing to decide so we can start our story. So it can be anyone. Go ahead.
Again, please. Sorry.
I think astronomy crazy.
Okay, so yeah, it could be more fun to write about crazy. So we're going to go decide that this person has lost their mind, okay, and he's wearing an astronaut costume, and as Ziad said, it's a costume. There's no preparation. So we can roll with it, which means we can take it in a great direction. Ah, my headphones keep falling out. All right, so does anyone have a sentence that we can use to start this story? And feel free to post it in chat if you want to help you with your grammar. Okay, so.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
A child man reading stories about space, and he loves these stories too much, and he began to like this and believe this very much. After that, he sat and wait someone from the space to take him to the space and go with him in the ship and visit all the space or something. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I just didn't hear the first part you said. Did you say as a child he read stories about space? I heard.
Mm-hmm. It's began when he is a child. It's began with when he was a child.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, we can start with that idea. So we can say it's an obsession because we have agreed as a class that he's crazy. So an obsession is something you constantly think about. You're neurotic.
Can I say?
Yes, go ahead. And I'm just going to read the posts on the side as well. All right,
Yes.
so please share.
Once in a train station, I was waiting my train when I saw a crazy man. Maybe we can start with this sentence.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. So we're going to take it from the first person point of view as an observer. So someone who sees this astronaut. Yeah. Can you write that in chat for us?
Yeah.
That's a great first sentence. Once in a train station? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just correct a few of the grammar mistakes for people in chat. So if you ever have a sentence that can work with our story, post it in chat and I can help with grammar. And then also we can add it to our final draft. And I'm going to open up a Word document so that we can see what our final version will look like. And I'll upload it to Google Docs. So just 1 second. And we should be able to make changes to it. So, lesson plans. And I'm going to label it astronaut. All right, lesson plans verbally. Okay. Okay. All right, so Asir, did you post your sentence, Asir, in chat?
Yes.
Okay.
May I can repeat it if you.
Okay, so you were saying we should use it as. All right, so one day I was waiting, right, in the train station. Waiting at the train station for my train when I saw an astronaut sitting on the bench. Okay. So you were saying about having someone observe him, right? Instead of us being the astronaut. Okay. Planet, so he decided to look. All right. Maybe I will not correct the grammar in chat because it's a little much trying to teach that and run class. All right. Okay. Yeah, that might be easier.
Should we write in Google Chat or Verbling Chat?
I actually cannot view Verbling chat. I can only view our chat for class for some reason. So whenever I click back and forth between the chats, it disappears or I get our class chat room. All right. So these are great ideas. But can anyone give me a sentence that we can use to start our paragraph? So a first sentence. Asir's is pretty good. So once, we have to change it a little bit. So we'll just change it to Saturday. Okay, so I'm going to use a serious sentence, but I just changed the grammar a little bit. And I changed it to a specific day because I hate starting stories with once upon a time. And so Saturday, I was at the train station waiting for my train. So we are going to be the astronaut. All right. So what else? What can we use for a second sentence? Where can we take this? Okay.
It's talk about when I saw the astronaut.
So we're going to stick with the idea that we are the astronaut, maybe, because it seems like most people are writing in first person as the astronaut when I look at chat. So it may be easier to pretend that we are the character. All right. So our first sentence is, Saturday, I was at the train station waiting for my train. And I know someone mentioned reading space stories as a child. So was that Sammy, I think? I've never heard of. Okay, so I'll work on that sentence with you in a minute. All right, so I'll give us another sentence to see if we can go from there. So as a child, I love stories about outer space. Okay, so just bear with me. All right, so I wrote a little paragraph for us, and maybe we can take this somewhere else. Okay, so I'm posting it on the side. All right, so check it out and see if we can come up with another sentence. Don't post it in chat yet. but we'll share orally. Okay. Okay, so I see we have a sentence on the side. All right. Okay. Sorry. Okay. This sometimes happens where I get kicked out of Google. I don't know why. So they just tell me my connection ends. All right.
Welcome back.
Teacher, could you please send us Google Docs to write?
This sometimes happens where I get kicked out of Google. I don't know why. Okay. So they just tell me my connection ends. All right.
Welcome back.
Teacher, could you please send us Google Docs to write?
Sorry. Verbling, we're having a lot of problems right now. One sec. One second. Sorry. God damn it. Verbling, we're having a lot of problems right now.
it is very easy to read. So at least I knew how to read, and then I learned it 10 years ago. I went to an Islamic madrasa or
Welcome back,
school.
teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
Laura's back.
What is your
welcome
career?
back, Laura.
We can't hear you.
Where were you, Laura?
Sorry. I was leaving a message for Verbling and gave my computer a few seconds. I don't know. I think it may be my connection today, but I'm not sure. So
Yeah,
at
it
least,
happens to me too.
okay, so you get kicked out a few times?
Yes, and it's very frustrating when it happens.
Yeah, I can rejoin class luckily, but I'm sure that's very difficult for you because you may not be able to get a spot. So, all right. I'm just finishing up the message, so 1 second, and we'll see how it works. Just a question, did anyone hear an echo repeat a lot when I entered class last time?
There's a lot, yeah, in the past, yes, but now there's no echo. It's a small echo. But in the past, before you exit, there's a lot of echo.
Okay, so it wasn't just me. I was trying to mute everyone when I got booted out again. So we'll see how this goes. But
What does it mean,
okay.
echo?
To repeat, like echo, 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 echo. So you hear it over and over.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So
Hearing time and again.
Yes.
Welcome, Laura. I think Laura has come back.
So I don't know how long I'll be in class, so I'm just going to make this a free period. So why don't we go over questions? So while I'm here, I can answer, and when I get booted out, it's okay, instead of trying to keep track of a writing class, because it'll be too difficult to keep going back through chat since it gets deleted every time I join. So sorry about that, guys. But does anyone have any questions? So anything they want to work on in writing, any words you've heard that confuse you at all?
I've just come in the class, Laura. So, and as I can see, it is the topic of this class is story writing, right?
Yeah. And we were working on that.
Yes, I would like to know a very simple thing like, it's very difficult to begin a story. So tell me how we can just start writing a story. There are many things we can work on, but it's very difficult to begin the topic.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not a professional writer. I don't write short stories
Mm-hmm.
that get published, but for my classes, I was a literature major, creative writing. So I did poetry and short story writing. And so for class, I like to use prompts. So um, for classes, I use prompts, and writing on my own, well, it's a little different. So there's another website I was going to use for us, which had some pictures and some prompts, which I thought was interesting. So a picture with a question. And maybe that'll help you, but I don't know, for short story writing, personal experience. So I keep my own blog, and I write about my own personal experiences. Does anyone else out there, a writer, even if it's not in English, in your own language, keep a blog or a diary?
Yes. Is there anyone?
So Asan, do you write?
Yes,
In
I
your
do.
free
I
time?
do, and I like writing. I write whenever I visit a new place, especially, and I maintain my diary. I do not write every day, and it is not good for a writer to write each and every day and all common things. But I do try to write new things, like if I visit a place or
Mhm.
I see something new or something which can attract me or I can bring some result. Uh, I like to write about education or about those children who are out of class and they do not have education facilities, or they're not able to go to the schools, or they are deprived of their educational rights. So I have written a couple of short stories, like at the 5 o'clock in the morning. It was a time when I was going to my hometown, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, when I came out of my apartment, I found some kids, and they were, selling some things like pan masala. In India, we have pan masala or cigarettes or tobaccos, and they were 7 to 12 years old, and it was a winter season. And when I came back to my university, I wrote a small story, and it was well appreciated for my students as well. When I was teaching Urdu at the American Institute of Indian Studies, I translated that small story into Urdu language, and they found that
Okay.
very interesting. Yes,
Yeah,
so
it
I
sounds
like
like you
writing.
have a very interesting list. I'll recommend a book to you. Maybe you can get your hands on it.
Yes,
It's
please.
called Three Cups of Tea. Three
Mm-hmm.
Cups of Tea, and it's about that problem that you're talking about, children without education. And for this specifically in Afghanistan. So he goes to the Middle East and he's working with children. It's an American, and he was a hiker. And so I read this book. It's a little slow um,
Mm-hmm.
getting into it. Yeah. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah. When I
It's
talk and
okay.
write, I can't do this the both at the same time.
Okay.
All right. So, is does anyone out there like to write at all? We'll just leave this as discussion so we can work on
Mm-hmm.
speaking in
Yes,
case I
yes.
get kicked out again. So, fingers crossed I don't. All right. And I'll schedule another writing class for not next week because all my hours are booked, but the week after. So check that out. And now that we've had a little test session, I can see how to better fit it into an online version, which is very difficult. So anyone else or any questions that you guys have? So I know some of my students in my morning class had grammatical we did grammar, so they had some questions about grammar. Anyone else?
Yes, come on, guys.
No? You guys were so talkative before. I heard everyone
Yes.
chatting, and then I come in and everyone gets nervous. I'm not
Sorry,
grading you, so go ahead.
yes, can you explain
Yeah.
about perfect continuous? Present perfect continuous.
Sorry.
Perfect.
Imperfect continuals.
Yes.
I can describe the imperfect tense. I'm going to have to check what an imperfect continual is. 1 second.
A cup of tea.
So it's imperfect continuous.
No.
So do you mean
Present.
because the imperfect I know is like was, so it's an idea that has not been completed yet, but it was in the past. So it's an action that's continuing maybe into the present. So for the verb to be, making it into the form was. Is that what you're talking about?
No, use have been.
Have been. Right. I actually cannot teach this because I don't know. So have been, like I have been. I don't know how to teach the imperfect continuous. I'm sorry.
How can I do?
Can
And
I give an
doing a
example,
Google search?
Nora?
Yeah, if you give me an example.
Well, I think like I have been working on this topic since the morning or for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're talking about this problem when we use for and since.
For instance, I can explain for instance, but I can't explain
Yes,
the imperfect continuous without finding a
that
better
is perfect
website.
continuous. It is perfect. It means that you are working or you have worked something, but it is still going on, so it is continuous. Yeah, have been.
It's just I've never heard of that tense in English. So I was Googling to make sure, and I understand. I don't know if that's what it's called in English. So
It is called perfect continuous.
imperfect, yeah. It's only coming up in Romance languages,
I think it's
which
called present
I know
perfect.
because that's what I was. Yeah, the imperfect.
The present
There we
perfect.
go. I'm only getting advice on how to teach in Spanish, which is not. I'm sorry, I cannot answer that question. Maybe someone else can.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
May I have another question?
If you have another question, go ahead. I can usually answer grammar questions. That's my strength, but teaching English as a second language grammar is different for me, and I don't know how to teach that. I'm sorry, or explain it. And I'm having problems with finding it on Google in English.
I am also having problem.
Yeah.
I am also trying to get some examples, but as I know has been and have been. So with singulars like he, she, and it, we have to use has been, then verb, and plus ing form. And with plural, nouns, or you and I, we say have been plus verb plus ing form. Like I would, as I said, I have been talking to you for the
Hmm.
last 2 hours,
Yeah.
okay? Or this class has been going on for for half an hour or maybe for 45 minutes. So it is present perfect continuous.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, the conjugations I definitely understand, and then using the gerund form. I've just
Mm-hmm.
never heard of this tense in English before, so I'm sorry, guys. Like, I use it, I just don't know the name and how to
Yes,
teach
we.
it other than, um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I can't even explain it. I'm sorry.
Okay, no
Never mind,
problem.
Laura.
All right, maybe another
Where are
question.
you originally? Where are you from, Laura?
I'm from the United States, but I live in France. So right now, my first language is French. That's the language I speak every day.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, I
yeah.
want to learn French.
So yeah, you can definitely uh, learn it on Verbling. There are people who do the one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, I was wondering if I can find a French class like English classes, but I could not find that. People say that you can find a language partner here, but
Hmm.
it is not so easy. I
Yeah.
tried to find, but I could not find it. Oh.
I actually haven't done the language partner um, uh, part of Verbling, but a lot of people, it's on one of the specific web pages, and you search for people that are online at the time to have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with. So it
Here
may
is a
just,
link. Here is a link about present perfect continuous. And I was right. They have been talking for the last hour. Or she has been working at that company for 3 years. So my examples were right.
yeah, they were right. That was grammatically correct. Um,
Yes.
And Antonio posted, wait, I want to keep this web page up, so 1 second. So, and Antonio posted that it's an action that hasn't been completed yet and is still going on, which is what I had asked about if it was the imperfect tense. So, an action that had happened in the past and was continuing until the present. Um, but, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it has a different name in English because uh, it's different when you learn your own language. You didn't learn, like, at least I didn't learn these.
Yes, it
I
is a
learned these
problem
tenses
of,
naturally, but I
you
learned them
know,
in French.
Laura, this is
So
problem with native speakers. If
yeah.
you ask any grammatical question in my mother tongue, like Urdu or Hindi is my mother tongue, I would not be able to explain why I say like that. And I have this experience with the American students. When I was there for the first time in my life, I read the Urdu grammar there, and I
Hmm.
thought, oh, this is my mother tongue. Why I'm going to read Urdu grammar? But they told me, yes, you need it, as the students they will ask you many questions about, and then you have to be in position of answering them.
Hmm. Yeah. I do a lot of grammar classes. I did one this morning.
If you ask any French
So
or yes.
I do a grammar class every Wednesday. I'm sorry I wasn't prepared for this one.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's always also in other languages, like also Arab. Uh, I know Arabic very well because it's my native language. But if you
Yes.
want to ask me about grammar things, I can help you in
Yes.
something little of grammar. But there's some questions I will I will say I don't know how
Yeah,
what is
yes,
the answer.
we can.
We should ask an expert man
Specialist.
in Arabic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes, I
it's
think it
founded
needs
all in the
specialist.
language.
yeah. So I was a literature major. I do have a strong grammar is my strength. Just grammar, second English as a second language grammar at a certain level gets me tripped up. So we've reached my limit. I actually cannot explain this that well looking at this website, besides what I said before, which is the action in the past that is continuing to the present. And then repeating what Asan said with the conjugation, and it changes from I have to she has. And then the formula is just so I have been, and then it's the gerund form of a verb, which is the infinitive plus ing. So the gerund form of a verb is like running, going, verbs that end in ing. Okay. So that's also a way we can use that tense, but that's as much as I can explain it. But I hope that semi helps a little bit.
Well, I'm also trying to find a book in English that should be based on short stories or something like that, which we can find grammatical orders, and that will be very useful. Otherwise, we have rules and regulations, and we do not apply in our day-to-day lives. So,
I'm sorry,
I think we lost.
I have to go, and I want to thank you, Laura, and thank everybody. And bye.
Yeah, thanks for staying in class, guys. I'm sorry that it was a little bit of a disaster, but
Okay, bye.
at least we made it through. Goodbye. And so I will continue this lesson in the future, so I'll make another date for it to work on short story writing. So I guess I'll let you guys go so you can chat and maybe get in line for the next class so you actually have an English class today. All right? So sorry about this. All right.
Oh, no
Bye,
problem.
guys.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.